Well, first off, I just want to let you guys know that we're going to have at the Denver convention, we're going to have somewhere between 30 and 40 layouts. We do have a working list of 60 layouts that we're working from. So that means that we're going to have an extensive list of nearly all narrow gauge layouts. We do have a couple standard gauge layouts, two Midland layouts, which to me that just counts as a narrow gauge layout. So we'll have that, and I think right now we have one standard gauge layout, but it is flat out gorgeous layout that would be spectacular. So we'll have some good choices to work from. They're in a lot of different scales. Half inch to HON3 is generally what we're seeing. And all the different prototypes, from everything you could think of from scratch building, prototypes to, or freelancing to, RGS layouts, CNS, Rio Grande. So all those will be covered. And of the prototype layouts, with so many layouts to choose from, you're going to find that, if you are a big CNS fan, you're going to be busy seeing a lot of CNS layouts. So that's something you can count on. This convention is going to be a little bit different than some of the past, and maybe it's going back even into the early days of the narrow gauge convention, that we're actually going to run from Cheyenne all the way down into Woodland Park, so to the south, so including Colorado Springs. So there'll be a wide range. For me, I'm pretty excited about the northern layouts, just that they've never really had much of a chance to show or talk about what they've got up there. As far as our packet and guide and information, we really were thrilled with what Tacoma did. Tacoma had put together some pretty spectacular packaging of the layouts, what they were about, the story. Dale Kurtzer just did a phenomenal job with that, and it was a really great blueprint for us to work from. So, but we're going to make one exception to that, and that is we're going to number the layouts, starting with in the north with Harry Brunk's layout. Harry Brunk's layout gets number 1. And then we'll go south from there. So the layouts will be in a quasi direction that you would go, or you would travel to. Maybe you might go deviate from that in your travels, but at least it'll give you a sequence that you can focus your time on real quickly while you're going down the road. One thing we would encourage you to do is to say, if you're going to start, you're going to go say 1 through 6, that you might consider picking up layout number 6 and then work your way back to number 1. We really do want to spread everybody out. We're interested in making sure that you have a great experience, and because we're going to have so many layouts, quite a few more than what was in the past, we're really hoping to spread everybody out. There won't be a big long line, for several blocks. I know we saw that last time in Denver, and that's something that we want to change. So our layouts are going to be in 2 forms. We're going to have the Empire series and the Builder series. So an Empire series doesn't necessarily mean that it's a big layout, but it does mean that it's a layout that's nearly finished. So there's a lifelong effort that people have put into these layouts, and I'm just myself, I'm astonished at seeing these layouts. I mean, it's just phenomenal to see the work that's done, the level of detail, and it's spectacular. But that doesn't mean that a Builder series layout is something wrong with it, because it's not. It's a beautiful layout, has a lot of great things going for it, but they have some sections that are not finished. So there's exposed benchwork, there's some things to see on how they actually constructed it. So it's a great learning experience to go into a Builder series layout. So your time spent between the two, you can decide as you go which ones you want to see, but we are going to at least identify them in that way, as well as the guide will have a description of what is in actually each layout and how much of it is actually finished. So We kind of have a minimum of about 25% of the scenery being finished, so to be on the tour. The other thing is that we're going to have, we're considering this and working through it, but there does seem to be some real interest. And those people who would like to open their layout and invite a couple people the Tuesday before the convention, or an A number, something that's appropriate for the railroad, as an operating time to operate the layout. A good example would be Jim Trowbridge. He can have between 4 and 6 people operating his layout, and you get this close niched one-on-one time with Jim and his layout. And we'll do a lottery drawing to see who would be able to participate in that. And we're thinking the lottery is a team of 2, so that you and your friend would be the one to go to this layout and have a chance to participate with that. And it's going to be based on this is for those who register. So we want to encourage you to register early, and give you this chance so that you can be in the as a part of this and one of the people in the lottery of it. So I just plan to go through a few of the layouts, just kind of give you a flavor of what we have, and something that you can kind of see. So first off, I wanted to talk about Jim Gray's layout. He's located up in northern Colorado, or the northern side of Denver, and they're on the property of the Rocky Mountain Airport, former Jeffco Airport, and it's in a building that's above a hangar, and it's pretty good size room up there. And he has some decent space up there to do the modeling that they're doing. This layout is a great example of a builder series layout. And so you can kind of see the workmanship, the things that they're putting into this layout. And it's phenomenal. It's beautiful. The work they're doing is just terrific. And there's a lot of thought and care that's gone into this. But yet they're still building it. They're still making progress and showing what they can do. So, and this is a yard scene that they're building, and it's part of the overall layout. So you can kind of get a sense of what we talk about, the Empire series versus Builder series. Bill Alspach is another layout. This is going to be probably layout number 42. This will be the last layout in the list. It's in Woodland Park, so it's just outside of Colorado Springs. And again, this layout is an Empire series layout, and it's located, and it's in a medium-sized room in his house. I believe it's the second level where he has this located. And so the layout as a whole is in a relatively small space, but he has so much detail and so much work has gone into this. And the other thing that really makes his layout really terrific is that sections of the walls in the room are lined with artifacts and historical, objects and photography, and so not only walking around the layout, but there's a lot to see around the room as well. Bill also has in the other room a series of modules that he's used he's part of a number of module groups. There's 2 different modules in there with the Slim Rail group. He's in that group there. There's a module there as well. So that's something that you'll have a chance to take that in as well. So, and then this is Mike Horner's layout. Mike Horner, I think it's been a while since people have seen his layout. For me, it was a pretty long time, maybe 20 years since I've seen his layout. And Mike Horner's in Idaho Springs, so he's kind of on the western end of town. And and I'm showing you here some pictures of what his layout was even back, I want to say into the 90s, I think 91 convention. If you had gone to his layout tour, this is kind of what you would have seen. And he has gone to town with this railroad. He has built so much in this last section. I guess him and Steve Swanson got together and they were talking about, you know, what their next step was. And they said, let's make the narrow gauge convention our goal to see what we could get done. And they did. And this is what they built. I walked into this section of the railroad and I got goosebumps. It just blew me away. This huge section of the railroad of this RGS scene of Ophir. There's 6,000 trees there, and it was just spectacular. I was so impressed, and you could just see the effort that he has gone into in building this. So so Mike Horner's layout is definitely one that you're going to want to take in. Mike has hand painted all the backdrops. He told the story of how he hired a young gal to come to teach him how to paint, because she was a local painter, and she just had really great skills. And you can just see how Mike had taken to her knowledge and applied it to this railroad. And this is all work that he had painted. They've also hand laid all the track. All the track work is all hand laid, hand spiked. So, and it's all running. It was running flawlessly, and they have huge yards with lots of activity and track. So this is his Gunnison scene. This Gunnison scene that he built wasn't there before. That's all new, and it's all part of near his shop area. So, and then I'd like to talk a second here about, you might know Jim Murphy. Him and Don Meeker are good friends, and Jim Murphy was involved in the 91 convention, I believe, and he now lives in a retirement community called Windcrest. And in Windcrest, it's thousands of people, many buildings with, 5 stories tall. And there's this huge talent pool there who have created a railroad that's in one of their craft areas that they have. And they're going to open the gates for us. You show your badge, you come in, you'll be able to enter the facility. I'll guide you to space to park, and then take you in, and you'll get a chance to see this layout. And it's just phenomenal. You consider that there's these people that live there. They have workspaces in their homes. They build stuff there and then bring it down to the layout. Every single inch of this layout's filled with something that's beautiful to see. And they will have, this again is an Empire series in a smaller room, but there's a whole workshop area that they're going to take out, and they're going to build a 1/2-inch scale layout back there that's kind of a mining district kind of thing. So there'll be some new stuff to see on top of that. The other thing that's really kind of funny is that they told the story of where they had the pastoral team come down to show off the layout, and they came and they happened to notice, and this isn't the scene, I don't have the picture of it, but there's a scene where they have the ladies at this hotel or in the 2nd floor, and they're down chatting to the guys down below. And so the pastoral team happened to see this hotel, and they were looking at those characters thinking that maybe they might need some redemption. So they asked them where the church was. And so they looked around, and there was no church, and there was quite a bit of laughter about that. And so a week later, they called them back, and they had this church built for them. So that was a pretty funny little story that they had to share. So which was pretty cool. So another layout, Bill White. Bill White's been a friend of mine for a very long time, and he's building a 1/2-inch scale layout. And everything that you see here, because it's 1/2-inch, is handmade. Bill has been working on this thing for, I think, over 20 years, and he has just done a phenomenal job. And Bill's big thing that he always talks about is clutter. And if you take just a moment to look at these pictures, you're going to see the level of clutter, how far he took clutter to the nth degree. This layout's got every knot hole that you could think of and wood that's there. It was all, everything was just made. And in a 1/2 inch scale, there just isn't that much available. So, and I don't know how many layouts that you are aware of that have an airport, but he managed to put in an airport on a 1/2 inch scale layout. And this is new. I know he was open for the previous convention, but he did not have this area finished, which is the engine facility. And so you can kind of see the effort that went into building this, and it runs great. Sound system's terrific. And this side here is actually my favorite side of the layout. There's just so much action going on in a small space. So that's just a window into what you're going to see at the narrow gauge convention in Denver. And we're sitting here, we're in the ready track, we're all steamed up, we're all fired up, and we're ready to go. We're not quite yet connected to our train, but we want you to know that we are on top of all of this, and it's a great team, and we're all, like I say, really excited about the future and what that brings. And we just want you to know this convention is going to have a little bit of everything. We're going to have more of everything, more clinics, more layouts, more to the contests, more manufacturers. So you're going to have that real, great experience. And one thing I did want to bring up is that our hotel, we do have space available in the hotel, and being in the convention hotel is spectacular. There is some space still available, and would highly recommend getting your room at a minimum. That's something that doesn't cost really anything other than just signing up for it. So the website is set up in such a way that you can stretch your time, how much time you actually want to stay. You can change the dates. They populate with a set of dates, but I would definitely confirm those dates that you're going to be staying at the hotel on that end there. So that's what I have. And next month, we're going to have Chris Lane's going to come back, and we have a couple of different nuances, some new things that are coming. We have new team members that are just came on board, as I understand, a couple of days ago. So we have a lot to share, and so that's what I have for you. That's this. I plan to do 3 or 4 more of these just to give you kind of a heads up of what to see, and we're super excited about what's coming next year. So that's what I have for you.